the meeting to order. We'll have our invocation by Mr. Blake.
Dear Heavenly Father, we'd like to pray for your guidance this morning as we, the elected officials of Kankakee County, meet to make decisions that will impact the lives of the people of this county. We ask for your blessing today and that you would give us wisdom to make the right choices.
Amen. Have a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have the roll call.
Here. Mr. Washington. Mr. Legess.
Here.
Mr. Stauffenberg. Mr. Whitten.
Present.
Mrs. Bernard. Mr. Marcotte.
Here.
Mr. James. Mr. McLaren. Mr. Vickery.
Present.
Mrs. Barber. Ms. Schmidt.
Present.
Mr. Nicholas.
Present.
Mr. Olthoff.
Here.
Mr. Skowski. Mr. Lear.
Present.
Mr. Scholl.
Present.
Mr. Hess.
Present.
Mr. Bossert.
Present.
Mrs. Campbell. Mr. Galecki.
Here.
Mrs. McBride.
Present.
Mr. Yates. Mr. Ians.
Present.
Mrs. Whitus.
Present.
Mrs. Wilson.
Here.
Tholen.
Present.
Mr. Cruz.
Here. Quorum is present. We do have one person signed up for public commentary. Mr. Clark, if you could use the mic back there on the back, please.
Certainly, and thank you. My name is Tom Clark, and I am the President and CEO of Unipar and United Developmental Services. Today, this body will be asked to consider a recommendation from the Revolving Loan Fund Committee to provide funding in the amount of $900,000 to assist in building a public-private partnership that we consider essential not only for our organization, but for the economy and the future of this county as well. For those who do not know, United Developmental Services, for the past 5 decades, and I see many of our friends among you here today, the organization has provided education and training for developmentally disabled adults. For most of that time, that training has been accomplished through manufacturing assignments. Now, when we talk about our clients, we're talking about individuals who cannot compete, who often cannot compete successfully in the mainstream job market. So organizations like United Developmental Services and our colleague Kankakee County Training Center provide really the only source of gainful employment for our clients. The project that we are requesting funding to support will allow us to assume production responsibilities for activities that have historically been conducted by SLT at their Kankakee plant. As we all know, last November, SLT announced that they were ceasing operations in Kankakee and moving portions of their production facility to Reynosa, Mexico, and to Union, Missouri. If that would happen, some 200 developmentally disabled adults at our facility would have lost employment. In addition, some 20 to 30 manufacturing jobs at SLT Kankakee would have been lost to Union, Missouri, or other locations. We felt that could not happen. The proposal before you today provides for our facility to assume production responsibilities, the end result being that some 200 developmentally disabled adults will continue gainful employment. It also means that some 20 to 30 current employees of SLT Kankakee will not lose their jobs, but will be employed at our facility, producing product for SLT to be shipped to SLT customers around the country. In addition, it means the retention of some 35 to 40 staff jobs, vocational trainers, coaches, and production assistants who make it possible. So I urge your affirmative action on this proposal today. I cannot stress to you the importance and the significance. Moreover, I cannot stress to you the significance of the type of public-private partnership that is being created. This funding will provide the cornerstone to bring in the additional bank financing necessary to make this project a reality. So I thank you for your consideration, and certainly I am here today to respond to any questions that any member of this honorable body might have regarding this request. Thank you.
We have no communications or vacancy appointments. We'll go on to the certificate of recognition. I believe Ms. Mary Williams is here. Glenda, in recognition of your 20 years of service with the State's Attorney's Office, we want to thank you very much for everything you do for the county and specifically for the State's Attorney's Office. So thank you very much, and hopefully we will have many more years of service from you. So thank you.
I just wanted to say a few words regarding Glenda. She is what you would call a local success story. She's a graduate of St. Anne High School, and after she left St. Anne High School, she eventually attended Mary Crest Business School, or Mary Crest College over on the east side there. And as soon as she was done there, she took a job with the State's Attorney's Office. She's been with us 20 years now. She's currently assigned to the Child Support Enforcement Division, and when I asked the attorneys assigned to that division yesterday, Nancy Nicholson says she can't live without her. She does a great job, and we hope to have another 20 good years out of Glenda. So thanks for all you do.
Next is Craig Kingsnor. Anybody has any potholes in any of their areas, like Craig know right now. So Craig, in recognition of 35 years with the Highway Department, thank you very much for all that you've done. I know you've handled a number of different positions down there, and evidently you'll love it because you stuck around that long. So anyway, but thank you very much for all you do. And
ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the senior-most member of the Kankakee County Highway Department, the man with the longest years of service for the Department of Highways. And as the chairman spoke, it's true. It's no small matter that this many years of service has some bearing on the way in which we deal with our employees. But like any other job, there are many good days and there are many bad days that go along with a job, and we're not perfect. And here's a guy who spent 35 years devoting his time to the County of Kankakee Department of Highways through the good days and the bad days to reach this milestone in his career. As the chairman said, he's seen many aspects of county maintenance operations, including supervision, and he's one of the guys that's out there in the plows in some of the most brutal weather conditions that you could possibly imagine out there, when visibility is very low, and they're out there trying to keep the roads open and passable highways. No small achievement. 35 years devoted to the Kankakee County Highway Department. Thank you very much, Craig. Look forward to a few more years from you.
Is the job duties why you both have the same kind of hairdo?
We found the same barber years ago in Lincoln.
We do have the minutes of the last meeting. Would I have a motion to approve? Made by Mr. Washington, seconded by Mr. Kalecki. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Claims Committee report.
August 27, 2008, Mr. Chairman and members of the County Board, your Committee on County Claims would beg leave to report they've examined the following claims presented, recommend payment for purchase hereby authorized, and directed to issue orders for the civil claimants payable other funding as follows. In the General Fund, $2,832,706.22. All other funds, $4,502,330.02, for a $135,036.24. For highway, the highway fund of $117,343.96. All other funds, $1,066,576.61. The total of the month of August is $1,183,920.57. All of which is respectively submitted by Mr. Vickery, Mr. Boston, Mr. Schultz, Mr. Lear, Mr. Stopford, Mr. LaJess, Mr. Cruz, Ms. Campbell, Ms. Wilson, and Mr. Washington.
We have a motion to approve made by Mr. Vickery, seconded by Mr. Whitus. Any questions? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote.
Mr. Tripp? Aye. Mr. Washington?
Aye.
Mr. LaJess? Aye. Mr. Whitten?
Aye.
Ms. Bernard? Mr. Marcotte?
Aye.
Mr. James? Aye. Mr. McLaren? Aye. Mr. Vickery?
Aye.
Ms. Schmidt?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholas?
Aye.
Mr. Olthoff? Aye. Mr. Lear?
Aye.
Mr. Scholl?
Aye.
Mr. Hess?
Aye.
Bossert?
Aye.
Mr. Plecky? Aye. Mr. McBride? Mr. Lins? Aye. Mr. Whitus? Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Sullivan? Aye. Mr. Cruz?
Aye. Motion carries. Department reports.
County Collector's Monthly Report. We've examined the July 2008 monthly report of the county treasurer and ex officio county collector. And to the best of our knowledge, found to be true and correct. County treasurer's monthly report. We've examined the July 2008 monthly report of the county treasurer and ex officio county collector. To the best of our knowledge, found to be true and correct. The coroner's report. There were, for the month of July, 25 coroner cases, 53 medicals, 9 autopsies, 9 toxicology, and total collections for the month of $1,455. The circuit clerk's report for the month. Of July of fees of $297,125.25. Reporter of dues report for the month of July 2008 of total fees of $109,708.50. County clerk report for the month of July 2008 of fees of $13,849.43. Animal control report for the month of July 2008 of fees of $10,367.50. Building fees for the month of August of permits of $118. Total fees of $21,146. And we are in receipt of the monthly resolution list for the county investigator.
I have a motion to accept and place on file made by Mr. Vickery, seconded by Ms. Wilson. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to the consent agenda. Are there any items that anyone would like to ask questions on or pull off the consent agenda? Seeing none, would I have a motion to approve the consent agenda made by Mr. Olthoff, seconded by Mr. Washington? Mr. Clark, would you read the items into the record, please?
Resolution for authorizing the application for acceptance of the 2009 Downstate Operating Assistance Capital Grant. Authorization for intergovernmental agreement with the Kankakee County Soil and Water Conservation District for services for 2009. The Mini Manassas Estate Subdivision Phase 1 variances. ZBA case 809, the variance to section 121-281. ZBA case 0807, rezoning from A1 Agriculture District to RE Rural Estate District. ZBA case 802, rezoning from A1 Agriculture District to A2 Agriculture Estate District for variance. The Malum Crossing Subdivision Final Plat. Sunset Road Subdivision Final Plat. Revolving funds to the Kankakee. Reappointment of Ralph Paulberg to the Kankakee County Regional Planning Commission. Reappointment of Richard Howe to the Kankakee County Regional Planning Commission. Reappointment of Mel Blanchett to the Kankakee County Regional Planning Commission. Reappointment of Samuel Payton to the Kankakee County Regional Planning Commission. Reappointment of Loretta Calvick to the Kankakee County Regional Planning Commission. Reappointment of William Kowski to the Kankakee County Regional Planning Commission. Reappointment of Steve Duchesne to the Kankakee County Board of Examiners Appeals. And resolution accepting the resignation of Calvin Meyer as the Commissioner from Washington.
Aye.
Mr. LaJess.
Aye.
Mr. Whitten.
Aye.
Mrs. Bernard.
Present.
Mr. Marcotte.
Aye.
James.
Aye.
McLaren. Guthrie.
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt. Mr. Nicholas.
Aye.
Mr. Olthoff.
Aye.
Mr. Weir. Mr. Scholl. Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Bossert.
Aye.
Mr. Plecky.
Aye.
Mrs. McBride. Mr. Enns.
Aye.
Mr. Whitus.
Aye.
Mrs. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Dolan.
Aye.
Mr. Stewart.
Aye. Motion carries. Under the regular agenda, item A, the approval of revolving loan fund application.
Resolution of the County Board of Kankakee County, Illinois, approval of the revolving loan fund application of Axion Chicago Micro Loan Program, whereas the Illinois Small Business Development Act 30 ILCS 750/9-2 creates a capital revolving loan fund to assist small business financially in their development of expansion into attractive and retain business in Illinois. Whereas the Kankakee County Regional Loan Fund Program was created by loans made to local businesses in the state of Illinois through the Community Development Assistance Program. And whereas in 2003, the County of Kankakee made comprehensive amendments to the program to improve the application approval process, marketing strategy, and the management plan, where the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, DCEO, approved the new program requirements in April 2003 and ratified in July 2003. Whereas over the past several years, the Kankakee County Planning Department and the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity discussed the feasibility of creating a county micro loan program, and the DCEO and its manager, Patrick Davis, in a letter dated March 14, 2008, gave support and approval after review and discussion in Kankakee County. Whereas an application by Axion at Chicago was received on June 11, 2008, whereas Axion Chicago is an alternative lending organization providing credit and financing to startup or expand a business by encouraging self-reliance and micro entrepreneurs throughout the Chicagoland area. Whereas Axion has been in business for 13 years and currently employs 8 staff members who provide services such as counseling, education, and business support, as well as business loans. Their market focuses on low-wage earners, minorities, immigrants, women, workers in transition, and re-entering the workforce, retired persons working with prior legal problems, workers with bad credit mistakes, workers who suffer major life disruption, residents in low-income areas and households with low asset levels. And for Kankakee County, we pledged to loan $150,000 to Axion Chicago for a term of 5 years at 0% interest commencing August 2008 and ending August 2013. The anticipated average loan size is approximately $10,000. There is no acquisition of property. The anticipated number of employees should be around 10. And their intention is to use the county funds to service businesses in Kankakee County. Whereas the Planning, Zoning, and Agriculture Committee at their August 27, 2008 meeting, after discussion, consideration, and review, accepts, adopts, and approves findings of fact and recommendation of the RLF Review Committee, recommends granting the loan to Axion Chicago. Now therefore be it resolved by the Kankakee County Board after review, discussion, consideration, that the findings of fact and recommendation of the RLF Review Committee and the PZA Committee is contained within its Exhibit A are rational and meet the objectives of the RLF program and are in the best interest of the people of the county and are hereby ratified, approved, adopted, and are as follows. Number 1, the term of the loan shall be for 5 years with a 0% interest rate. Number 2, the amount of the loan shall be $150,000. Number 3, Axion Chicago is a corporation, 501c3, and has no property acquisition. Number 4, Axion Chicago and the principal shall guarantee the loan and be responsible for meeting all RLF requirements, conditions, including but not limited to job creation of 10 employees as the anticipated number during full operation. Number 5, the project starting date is 2008 and shall end 2013. To further resolve, the Kankakee County Board approves the request of Axion Chicago for a revolving loan fund in the amount of $150,000 contingent on all legal requirements. The final relief from the RLF Review Committee, Exhibit A, the County Board Chairman is authorized to execute any required loan closing documents and applications to the state of Illinois. The committee recommends the adoption of this resolution here submitted by Mr. Stopper, Mr. Smith, Mr. James, Mr. Bride, Mr. Scholl, Mr. Dolan, Mr. Tripp, Mr. Washington, Mr. Whitten, Mr. Bruce.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Can I interject real quick here? The correction on that should be that the loan amount is up to $75,000, not $150,000. That was the recommendation from the revolving loan committee.
Okay, we will duly note that in the resolution for change. Okay, so I have a motion to approve made by Mr. Washington, seconded by Mr. James. Mike, would you just give a brief synopsis?
Yeah, for several years now, the planning department has been working on efforts to put together a micro-loan program of some portion of our revolving loan program. As some of you are aware, our revolving loan fund program targets businesses that want 25 to 30, or I think a minimum of $25,000. So there really is a gap there of $25,000 and less in that we don't provide that. We've been working with Axion of Chicago for several years now to see if there's a way that we can use their services to help us find way to attract and build systems in place for microloans, loans that are $1,500, $8,000, and no more than $15,000. We see a need in the community for this type of program. Axion does provide it. They have the facilities in place to do that. They will have individuals in our community that will start marketing the program. They will also be here to help assist in loan management, and so it is something that I think that provides a need for our community, and they are in a position to be able to provide this service to us.
Is there any questions? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Tripp?
Aye.
Mr. Washington?
Aye.
Mr. Legess? Mr. Whitten?
Aye.
Ms. Menard?
Aye.
Mr. Marcotte?
Aye.
Mr. James? Mr. McLaren?
Aye.
Mr. Vickery?
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholas?
Aye.
Mr. Olsop? Mr. Lear?
Aye.
Mr. Schultz?
Aye.
Mr. Hess? Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Plecky?
Aye.
Mr. McBride?
Aye.
Mr. Innes?
Aye.
Mr. Whitus?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Dolan?
Aye.
Approved.
Aye. Motion carries. Item B is revolving loan fund, United Developmental Services. There is no resolution for this. This came from the revolving loan subcommittee last week, and there was not enough time to try and get it to a regular committee because it would have had been a special meeting call. So I had to put on this agenda because of time constraints that we're under. So, but would I have a motion to approve the revolving loan funds recommendation to approve the loan for UDS made by Mr. Nicholas, seconded by Mr. Bossert? Mike, could you give us?
In your packet, you will find a report from the revolving fund committee, which submits to you its findings and recommendation on a revolving loan application by Unipar and UDS for a loan, or what we consider a line of credit, to expand its current operations to include the production of file folders. During public comment, you were introduced to Tom Clark, the President and CEO of Unipar and UDS. I don't know if you want me to go through the report or not, but UDS and Unipar have had a significant relationship with Esseltake Corporation, which is a company located in the city of Kankakee, for 8 years, providing about 99% of its work at UDS is the filing, production and servicing of the file folders that are produced at the Esseltake Corporation. As many of you are aware, in 2006, Esseltake had made an announcement that they were going to be leaving the Kankakee area to take their facility partially to Mexico, and the other portion will go to Union, Missouri. Earlier this year, Tom Clark approached Esseltake, knowing that the closing of this plant will have a significant impact both on the local economy and also the workers at the facility, and started to negotiate an agreement to attempt to keep the manufacturing line here. Those negotiations have gone well over the course of several months. And it really comes down to trying to put together a financial package that does include a public and a private portion for this project to be realized, and that's what we're here today. As the report outlines, UDS is requesting a line of credit or a loan at $900,000, which would come out of our revolving loan fund program. We do have those types of funds in our account. The funds would be used for working capital. There is a condition that private financing also be secured for this project to move forward. With this, with what the county board will be doing today, it will help get private financing secured as well. So that's kind of where we're at.
Are there any questions for Mike, Ms. Bernard?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mike, how much will be left then in our left fund? Will it almost be exhausted? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll almost be exhausted. With the action that we just took this morning, we've earmarked about $75,000 for our microloan program. As of last week, we had $1,045,000, so that would leave us about $970,000. So we'd have roughly about $71,000 left in the revolving loan fund account.
Okay, and these employment retention creation projections, are these just projections or are these nailed down?
That's what's being represented to us, that's what's being nailed down, yes.
I just want to make sure that that's guaranteed. How much are the UDS workers going to be making per hour?
I think they're on a I don't know if they make it per hour. I'll let Tom probably, but I think it's piecework, yeah.
Okay, you know, this looks good, but the one thing that does bother me is that these corporations are like bullies to us. You know, they threaten to leave, and then when they leave, here we are, you know, earmarking all this money to retain business, and it just, you know, I know in one way we have to do it, but it's really unfair, and I think the state should just look at all together what we can do with these companies, because they come in, they take the money, and they run.
Any other questions, Mr. LaJess?
Mike, do we presently have loans out that's replacing the revolving loan fund, and
Yeah.
approximately how much is that yearly?
Yeah, Mike, we have one that's out there right now. It's not very, I think we might have 100,000 out right now. It's probably halfway through its maturity cycle. So, I mean, we'll probably see a little bump in that in our account, but not that much. It'll be negligible.
Okay, Mr. Ince?
Mike, I got a question. Now, is this operation going to continue in the present SLK plan, or is it being moved to a different facility?
Good question. Good question. What is being proposed here is that the SLK factory will no longer be of service. The equipment will be moved to the UDS facility in Eastgate, where they have an area set aside for the manufacturing line. You know, part of this public-private partnership is, I would note that the city of Kankakee and their workforce board have also pledged to help financially to ensure that we can get the equipment over, and also training needed on the equipment.
Any other questions? Mr. Washington?
How many, not UDS, but SLT employees will be retained?
George, probably 20 to 25 at the present time is what it's ranging between that number.
Other questions? First time, Mr. Wade?
Thank you, Chairman. Mike, $900,000 is a lot of money for a first-time loan. Do they have to have that much money? Is it necessary they start out that much?
Well, it's a line of credit, Leo, over a period of 12 months. And they will be able to secure that money. We are also saying that at the end of the manufacturing year, which will probably be August 30th, they will repay that back, okay, principal and interest, and they will start over with their line of credit every September 1st. the way, so.
Mr. Flecky, did you have something?
I just wanted to comment on, one of the reasons I think this program is so important isn't so much that we're, bailing out a business that has, decided to leave Kankakee. I don't really see it that way. I see 200 developmentally disabled individuals who will have no place to go and no place to work or receive their occupational therapy after this. It is my understanding that UDS currently would not have anything they would be able to do with them, and they would not be able to be absorbed into, because of, logistical reasons, into the other organizations in town that provide this support. I think that giving this company this loan, these two people have come to us. They've come up with a plan to help maintain jobs in this community, and they need part of this financing. Mike, I'm correct that this is contingent on private financing, right? So if they
That's
don't
correct,
get-
that's one of the contingencies for this.
So if they don't get, it's like over $2 million in private financing they're gonna need as well, apparently. Then we won't even have to worry about this. We won't even give this money. This is gap financing. So I would just like to add to the record that this is, I fully support this, and that, we really, as a county, need to do something to, when it comes to over 200 jobs, if we have the power to help, I think we should step in and help.
Mr. Eltoff?
Just to address what Mr. Whitten was asking, you said, Mike, that the fund would be down to zero on August 31 every year.
Well, the line of credit would be reconciled at the end of each manufacturing year, the 900,000 that we would be offering out, be available to UDS and Unipar to use.
In other words, if they drew 500,000 of that, then by August 31, that would be paid down.
That's yes.
And if it's not, are there any subsequent issues that are addressed or not?
Well, we do have collateral. We will be in a position. We will accept a second to the private financing, which is normal for any of our revolving loan funds that we've issued in the past.
Ms. Smith?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mike, have they submitted a business plan or anything on paper that shows us how they expect to pull this all off and pay everything back?
Yes. The revolving loan fund committee looked at that in their financials and their profit and loss statements and that. Yes, they have looked at that.
Anyone else on the first time? Mr. Vickery?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The revolving loan committee looked at all of those questions. A lot of questions came up in committee, and it was unanimous after we drew some guidelines to protect the county. The revolving loan funding committee was very thorough in their examination of this. Thank you.
Anyone else for the first time? Okay. Second time around, Ms. Bernard?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Number 11, I don't know if it's on. Okay. Mike, several years ago, didn't UDS have some issues with their finances, with the auditing,
Not that I'm aware of.
when they had the paratransit?
The paratransit, yes, that was the public transportation, so we've reconciled that with the state. And that was more of what we ended up having to do as a county to reconcile that, correct?
Okay, all right.
And that was under the former director.
Another question I had is, does UDS lease or do they own their property out there in Eastgate?
I think both. They own and they lease some of it as well.
Okay, and then with the line of credit, what happens if another company comes in seeking out a lot of funds?
That's a good question. We have to exhaust our entire revolving loan fund program before we can go back to the state and ask for more. They do have a CDAP program that we can go and apply for if we have another project that would be enticing to us. So what we can do is we can apply for more funds after we would exhaust if we would exhaust the balance of what's left, $71,000, we can go and ask for additional funds.
And you would ask, is there a limit as to how much you could ask for in additional funds?
No, it's similar to what our conditions are. In fact, we're being very conservative with one full-time job per 15,000. The state's even looking to go higher to 20,000 to 25,000, given our given the conditions of the economy right now. So we might be able to get more funds for job creation in the community in the future through their application.
Is SLT contributing anything to this?
I believe so.
Do you know how much
Tom,
they're contributing?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Do we know?
I'll let Tom talk about it.
Yeah, if I may, yes, SLT is contributing.
Could you use the mic, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. SLT is contributing approximately $300,000 to the cost of moving equipment from the Nelson Avenue facility to our facility at Eastgate Industrial Parkway. Those costs include not only relocation of the equipment, but retrofitting our facility with lighting, exhaust systems, and other equipment necessary to convert what has been a warehouse into a production facility. So yes, SLT has been actively at the table financially in this project.
Then another question. This new operation will be producing products for SLT, right? Is that correct? Exclusively for
Yes.
SLT?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's a noble project, but I wish SLT were contributing more because the county, in a sense, is putting up 3 times the amount SLT is to do these SLT projects or products. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I think it's something unfortunately we need to do, but I wish that SLT would have made a bigger contribution.
Okay, Mr. Leggett?
This is just a comment. I'm not, I'm in favor of this particular request, but I would like to see us in the future get this, the paperwork a little bit ahead of time. It's a large amount of money. People are asking questions, the answers are in here. Some of us on the board recall IROC and ComGuard and a few others that were rammed down our throat, and you know, it was a bad deal. So I think it'd be wise on our part to get this ahead of time so people could actually, you know, look it over. Maybe it wasn't possible this time, but you know, it's a huge amount of money, and I think we need to be able to be well prepared to ask these questions when we get it.
I think the packet was included in whatever packet was put out last week, so some of them may not have seen it until this morning, but it was included. And again, it was a timing factor and everything that was going on, so it was my call, and I don't like it either, but I feel this was important enough that we had to do it the way we did. So, Mr. Whitten?
Thank you, Chairman. I'm going to echo what Mr. Wojcik just said. Are we going to eliminate finance from now on when with the ad hoc committee we have for the revolving loan?
No, that's who looked at this.
I know the revolving loan committee looked at it, but it was not sent to finance. Are we going to eliminate finance anymore? That's what I'm asking.
No, but that's what I'm saying. As things move forward and they come to us, they will go to the appropriate committee. I'm saying time constraints did not allow that this time. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? We'll have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Tripp? Aye. Mr. Washington? Aye. Mr. Lejes? Aye. Mr. Whitten?
Nay.
Ms. Bernard?
Aye.
Mr. Marcotte?
Aye.
Mr. James? Aye. Mr. McLaren? Aye. Mr. Vickery?
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholas?
Aye.
Mr. Olkoff? Mr. Lear?
Aye.
Mr. Scholl? Aye. Mr. Hess?
Aye.
Mr. Bossert?
Aye.
Mr. Colecki? Aye. Mr. Gride?
Aye.
Mr. Hens? Aye. Mr. Whitus?
Aye.
Mrs. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Tholen? Aye. Mr. Cruz?
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do want to thank the revolving loan subcommittee, Mr. Vickery and Ms. McBride said I know this was late coming, but it called you together, and thank you very much for your input and the recommendation that you did make to the board. So thank you very much for your work on this. Old business, do we have any old business? Ms. Smith?
I only bring this up under old business because it's Stan James's birthday today.
Under new business, I'll bring up it's Stephanie's birthday. Good job. All business, Mr. Leggett.
Just like to say that Stan has that at his age, he has that furniture disease. Your chest is falling into your drawers.
Other old business? Thank you, Ms. Menard.
Sorry to take the life out of the party here, but I just wanted to mention here that it's been 575 days since February 16, 2007, that the county has pulled its environmental cop off the beat when they suspended the delegation agreement with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. In the meantime, local inspections of pollution-generating sites has dropped by more than 70%. Well, actually, inspections altogether have dropped by more than 70% of local pollution-generating sites. And polluters at these big state-permitted sites, such as the landfills or the Joyce operations, now can safely gamble that the county more than likely will give them a free pass when they pollute our water supplies. And I would just like this board to think, to imagine what would happen if the county showed the same disregards for other crimes. Imagine if the county voted to pull their law enforcement officers off drug crimes or burglary crimes or violent crimes. The delegation agreement is our thin green line that was helping to protect our local environment. And this board has tried its best to erase the line so polluters can breathe easier at everyone's expense. And given the high cancer rates we have here in Kankakee County, I believe it's critical that the board restore and strengthen that green line, bring back that delegation agreement, and until then, we're sending the message, polluters, you're welcome here. So it's really long past time, due time that we restore that delegation agreement, and I'm asking the board to again bring it to PCA. And please, have the courage to stand up for the people, vote for it, and restore the environmental protections. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other new old business? Any new business? Motion to adjourn, made by Mr. James, seconded by Mr. Marcotte. All those in favor say aye. Aye.